cold-blooded bastard. I tell you what I think of it. I live to see you eat the contract, but I hope you leave enough room for my fist because I'm going to ram it into your stomach and break your goddamn spine.
Oh my god.
Yes, that is maybe the most famous line from The Running Man, I would say. And it is the science fiction rating system. I am Alex Humphrey. I'm joined by Chris Redding. Hello, Chris.
Hi.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah, I couldn't understand any of that. What you were
No,
just
that's
saying.
fine. That's fine. I don't. Do you remember that bit though? That's a famous bit. Come on.
Yeah.
You watched the film. Okay, good. That's all right then. And Sam Draper, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. That was
Good.
good impression.
Thank you. I tried. Yeah, I forgot that bit was in this film. I love that. I forgot.
Yeah, they
that
kind
that
of
was
all
in
mould together, don't they? Like 80s Schwarzenegger films.
there. Yeah, there's a lot of quotes and a lot.
He does use a lot of lines and everything, though, doesn't
That's
he?
true, yeah.
There's a lot of one-liners in this. Maybe we'll discuss. Anyway, this is a science fiction rating system. Our job on this podcast is to rate and review science fiction films from 1 to infinity. We started with a tiny list way back in 2016. Yeah?
2017,
2017.
January 2017, yeah.
Yes, and it's grown over 120 films now.
121.
There you go, 121 films ranked, reviewed, all on that list. And today it's The Running Man. It's our nostalgia season, the beginning of our nostalgia season, isn't it? You
I was thinking,
cast us.
how many other Schwarzenegger films we've got on the list so far? Is it just Predator? Oh, no, Terminator 2 is there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not many, considering how many
We
good
haven't
science fiction he's made.
the Mars one yet either, have we?
Nope. Total Recall.
Total
We
Recall.
haven't done...
Or did you mean, not End of Days? What's the one called where he's on Mars again?
Oh, yeah, there
Is
is
he on
another
Mars
Mars
more
one.
than once?
He's got like a weird eye, like a monocle on. Isn't that Schwarzenegger?
Oh.
No.
No, I don't know.
I think he goes to Mars again.
I think there is another Mars one.
You talk among yourselves, I'll look it up.
There's Sixth Day. That's a more latter day one. I like
That's
that one.
lame though, right?
Oh, it's funny though. Anyway, Total Recall. We haven't done Terminator. No. So there's quite a few Arnie's to come, I would say.
The Sixth Day.
Sixth Day is the one. Is that on Mars then?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Pity.
So it's just another sci-fi film.
Yeah.
Yeah, End of Days is like an apocalyptic one, a kind of demon one.
Yeah,
isn't
that
it?
one's terrible. 6 Days on with the clone in it, isn't it? He's cloned.
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah. There's somebody in my house eating my cookies. That one. That's for that.
Does Last Action Hero count as a science fiction film?
No, it doesn't.
No.
No, it doesn't. Sorry. I don't think it does.
No.
It's not really, is it?
Fantasy, isn't it?
Yeah, he's jumping universes, but not in a science fiction way.
No.
He's got a magic ticket, hasn't he? That's not a...
What about Jingle All the Way?
Maybe.
No.
There's a suit in that.
Oh,
It's a
hang on.
robot suit.
Twins, isn't it?
Yeah, Twins is.
Oh, Twins is science fiction.
And Junior.
And Junior.
And Junior, wow.
Yeah.
Whoa,
It's very light on the sci-fi.
And heavy on the jokes.
Yeah, well, there's 2 more to do.
Yeah.
Sadly, we can't do Kindergarten Cop, which is probably one of his best. But, yeah. But yes, it's all about nostalgia, isn't it? Sam tasked us to find films from our youths that we loved and revisit them. And when was the last time you'd seen Running Man? Because for me, it was a long time ago.
I think for me, as a child, I remembered it a lot less than I thought I did when I started watching it.
Wow.
And also, I was very... Oh, sorry, go on, Chris.
I don't know, but not probably about 10 years ago, maybe.
Oh, yeah. What were you going to say, Sam? Sorry, what?
Just that, like, this isn't the film it was in my memory, so that's why I think I haven't seen it as a child, because it was a lot different as a
They
child.
never are.
Yeah. So I'll
That's
get to that
true.
as we get to it in the film.
That's true, yeah. I mean, I think I couldn't remember much of it. Mainly what I remembered was the kind of stupid middle actual Running Man bits, the fighting stupid.
See, that's what I'd
character
forgotten.
Bits. Oh wow!
Yeah,
Oh,
I remembered like the dynamo and that, but I'd forgotten what it looks like and what's actually happening. But we'll get to that when we get to it.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's a 1987 film directed by Paul Michael Glasser. Did you know Paul Michael Glasser was? You guys?
No.
Nope.
He's He's Starsky from Starsky and Hutch.
Oh, is he?
Is he really?
Yeah, really hasn't directed many things at all.
I did read that Schwarzenegger almost pulled out and that guy got put in charge.
Yes, yeah, Arnie was not happy about him being put in charge. There were 4, it's not really, I mean, it seems that Rob Cohen, who's the executive producer, he bought the rights to the Richard Bachman novella, which was The Running Man, which he didn't know was Stephen King at the time. He bought it ages ago. And then there were 4 different directors hired. All of them had these kind of wildly different ideas about where to set it. One of them wanted to set it in a mall. One of them wanted to take it in this direction. Nothing worked. And then I think they hired one director and started, and then he was fired, and then they got this guy in, and they were behind schedule, a week behind schedule.
Yeah.
And Arnie says it was a terrible decision, and that Glasser shot the movie like it was a television show, losing all the deeper themes of the film. Now, yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think it's that badly directed. I think
I'm not sure
fine.
our director would change the script, props, look of the film.
Yeah, which all must have been made by that point. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think Arnie's whinging a bit with that. But did you know much about the original story, guys? Did you read about the original story?
I'm actually halfway through reading it right now.
Oh, interesting.
It's very different.
Yes. It's a lot. The game is a lot bigger, isn't it? It's across the whole world, isn't it? The game, from what I read.
He's like earning money through it and stuff, and it's he's not as much of an idiot. He's a lot more of a character. It's very different. Yeah, I'm quite enjoying it though. I'm quite enjoying it.
Yeah. Well, King describes Ben Richards as scrawny and pre-tubercular. He observes that Arnold Schwarzenegger, who played Ben Richards in the film, was very different than he wrote, saying that Richards in the book was as far away from Arnold Schwarzenegger's character in the movie as you can get.
Yeah.
So basically the complete opposite person, I guess.
Yeah. And he's got like a reason, like his daughter's really ill and he's like having to get, he needs money for her medicine. That's why he goes into the game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Arnie has a reason in this. Well, I don't know. I find Arnie's... Well, we can get to that. But we start... There's a blurb about the future, isn't there, at the very beginning? There's some terrible computer graphic titles, aren't they?
Yes.
I mean, they're really bad.
Very early. Yeah.
Very early. And we find out that we're in 2017, that the world economy has collapsed. Everything's in short supply. Police states divided into paramilitary zones ruled by an iron hand. Basically, television kind of dominates all of this. So it's kind of like I wrote down later on that it was like a more fun 1984.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Or a more fun 2017.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah, because it's like all art is censored, all music is censored. Yeah, it's kind of a very 1984 kind of fascist regime, and there's a resistance movement. But I mean, whatever, doesn't really matter, does it?
Sounds like Equilibrium so far.
It is a bit like Equilibrium,
very
isn't
Equilibrium,
it, as well? Yeah.
And you've got like the shanty towns, people living outside of the system, haven't you? Who are
And it's based around this very kind of Romans, isn't it? Is it bread and circuses, or is that a misquote?
I don't know. That sounds right.
But that's kind of what people say, isn't it? That Romans ruled things by giving them food and putting on entertainment, and that kept everyone placated. Everyone was kind of, just dumbed down by stupid television, bad television, which is kind of like 20.
Again, like the real world, yeah.
I pretty much agree with that.
Yeah, and we see the Bakersfield Massacre, as it were. This is part 1. Which basically we're just straight into a helicopter. We're with Arnie.
We're straight into the poorest acting and writing.
It's not a good opening.
As soon as I saw this and just what he was saying, I was like, oh my God.
I will not shoot on innocents.
Yeah, it's classic Arnie. He won't shoot the innocents.
It doesn't make any sense, this scene, though, is it?
No.
What's his backstory?
Yeah, how did they get to that position?
Somewhere and then all of a sudden they're doing something he doesn't want to do.
It is a bit out of left field, but I think it's trading off the idea that we all know who Arnold Schwarzenegger is, and we didn't, at this stage of Arnie's career, we didn't really need
But if he worked for the government or something in a helicopter pilot, he would have done this sort of shit before. He's flying a helicopter in the middle of a city with a machine gun attached to the side of it.
And literally everyone else on the board is on board with it, literally.
Yeah. It's just him.
Yeah, no, it's like he's just landed in a body.
Yeah, totally. It's like he teleported in there at the start of the film. Yeah.
I'll take all that, but yeah, I just think. I think what you've cracked into is the weakness to me of the film, which is the fact is there is no. Yeah, you're right. There's no backstory. There's no character. It just trades off it being Arnie, and I would say the problem with this film is the kind of incessant one-liners. There's so many of them. They're funny, but they maybe stop this film being taken seriously in any way, don't they?
I think there's more problems than that, but I agree that like it's sort of revolving around Arnie, and he's doing a nice Arnie performance, but there's just not a lot else going on.
Yeah, it's Arnie is Arnie. We just like him because we like him. He's the character, and yeah, you're right. He's just this bloke who won't fire on innocent, so he gets beaten up and smacked in the face with a butt of a gun, doesn't he? So, and then we're into heads
whole
up.
Scene, most of the scene, he's just going. Yeah,
I love how when they put him over the seats and he goes, and they show it a bit later on, don't they? Again, he does the same.
Yeah, it's not convincing. It's bad acting. Yeah, I agree. We're into part 2, heads up, which is 18 months later. Arnie's in the Wilshire detention zone, and it is now technically 2019. That's what it says. So this is now. This is set now.
Can I just shout out Arnie's terrible beard?
Oh, I liked his beard.
He's like blonde, sort of bum fluff.
I wondered why he didn't have a beard in more films. It made me think, oh yeah, he looked quite good with a beard.
No, I think that's exactly why he hasn't got a beard. Okay. He looks awful with it. When he's got that like, it looks stuck on, doesn't it? When he's got the construction outfit on, that little yellow hat, he looks absolutely absurd, like he's in YMCA or something.
Oh, I quite liked it. Oh, okay, yeah, well, you're right. He does look stupid, but yeah. I mean, he's wandering around some rubble,
changes his
carrying
tone pretty
girders.
Quickly, does Alex, doesn't he?
It's very easy to.
Well, I liked it, but you're right. It did look stuck on. Now I think about it, but yeah. And again, there's not really any character development here. Suddenly, for no apparent reason, there is just a huge riot, isn't there?
Yeah.
And I guess we're supposed to fill in the blanks that he's been working towards this for a while with his mates. I mean, it just kind of happens, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No, I don't really get it. Like, the one guy knows Mick Fleetwood, doesn't he? You find it later on, so he's part of his existence, I guess, but I don't know.
I mean, it's more, the whole of this next section is really constantly just showing you those really terrible scanner things that set the perimeter up that just look like... They just look like little lights on sticks. They're really bad. And they keep showing you them and showing you them what they look like when they're on and what they look like when they're off. and then showing you a computer that turns them on and off so that you can remember what's going to happen when they're on or off. It's all basically keyed up to have that one guy's head blow off, I think.
Yeah.
Which
they like
cool.
Hacker Guy. He's got like a one code member, which is, I think it's WWTF3. I remember it even now. And between every single time he puts it in, he has to keep remembering what it is, doesn't he? Like, he can't quite remember what that code is.
Yeah. But it's quite a good action scene. There's a lot of people get shot. Guys' head gets blown off.
And also the head guy, that is a good bit. But like that dude, what was he thinking? They all knew that perimeter's been there for ages. They knew it wasn't down.
It's really stupid, isn't it? No, they keep saying it's not down yet. And he's like, nah! Yeah, that's really,
Just couldn't wait another 10 seconds.
No. So at this point as well, the credits are still rolling at this point. It's still the credits, isn't it?
They go away and come back again, don't they, for a little break,
No, it's a very long credit sequence. And then we're in part 3. So I'm already 3 parts in, slumming it. And there's this kind of very Blade Runner shot of the city. It's a very Blade Runner city, isn't it? And a giant
like
screen.
Blade Runner made out of like cereal boxes. Like the Blue Peter version of Blade Runner.
No moving through it.
Yeah. It's a bit like it's actually a bit like They Live, isn't it? If you think that's kind of a They Live vibe as well.
Yeah.
And we're in the slums outside the city where we meet Mick Fleetwood, who runs the Resistance. Very weird casting. I don't know how that
Did you read that he's like playing himself as well?
Oh, what? No.
Because he makes a reference to how they censored music and stuff like that. And he goes like, I used to make some discs back in the day.
Oh, and, God.
Like, someone asked the writer whatever, and he's like, he's playing Mick Fleetwood in the future. And it's even weirder because, Frank Zappa's kid's in it.
Oh, yeah, that's his son. His son.
Do you hear what his character's name is?
No.
He's called Stevie. So it's a bit like Stevie Nicks has had a sex change. And she's in it as well. It's really weird. Like a Fleetwood Mac sort of like expanded universe going on.
Yeah, Fleetwood Mac are the Resistance, basically. Yeah. That's strange. Well,
it's really strange. Like, is Mick Fleetwood in anything else? I don't think he's an actor or anything else, is he?
No. Not that I know of. Did he just know someone? It's a bit weird. There's no kind of detailing of why he ended up in this. Yeah. Well, they get there. Mick Fleetwood takes their collars off, so their heads aren't going to explode anymore, which is sad because that was
actually. Here's some Mick Fleetwood trivia for you.
Oh yeah.
He played an Antidean dignitary in the Star Trek: The Next Generation episode Manhunt. He must have just fancied himself getting into Hollywood a little bit,
or he's only in things where men get hunted down. For fun.
Yes, yeah, that's his thing. That's his
That's his thing. I'll only act in it if a man is hunted.
Bit like Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we kind of did. I mean, you say that Arnie doesn't have a character, and he doesn't. But he's kind of the only bit of character he does have is basically stated very clearly in this scene, which is that his two friends say, we're off to join the resistance because we're going to try and take down this, this terrible society. And he's like, I'm not into that. I'm into survival. That's all I care about. And that's that. And you're like, Arnie, you're going to change that. Arnie. You're going to change that record by the end of this.
But if he's into survival, why does he head to the middle of the biggest city to visit his brother who lives in the complex with all the employees of the government?
Yes. You're right. Moving to the next part, he dressed as a comedy, stereotypical Tom of Finland builder. He then goes to.
This is very much like Total Recall.
It is a bit Total Recall, isn't it? Yeah. He goes to the apartment, and they haven't changed the code on the door.
And everything.
Yes, the building. Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
This is before Total Recall, isn't it? Though this is the year before, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because Total Recall's 88, I think, isn't it? And this is 87.
It's just really strange, though, isn't it? How
perhaps they borrowed sets from each other and stuff.
Yeah, maybe that apartment and everything. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they haven't changed the code on the door. The door code is still the same.
Yeah, because he's changed owners. Yeah.
So anyway, Arnie gets into the apartment and he's wandering around looking for his brother. That's not really very important. What is important in this section is the introduction of Damon Killian, played brilliantly.
Yeah.
By Richard Dawson, the real-life host of Family Feud between 1976 and 1985. It's kind of like if Bruce Forsyth had been in the Hunger Games, isn't it, really?
Or Les Dennis.
Or Les Dennis had been in.
Because Family Feud is Family Fortune, isn't it? Family Fortune.
Yeah. Les Dennis had been in a film about murdering people, which he hasn't. But it's like...
Yeah, I bet if you're an American, it's a really brilliant turn, isn't it? Because he does act it really well, and if you're used to seeing him as a primetime host, it must be really cool to see him like that.
Yeah, he's really good.
But it's still a big show, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. I think I went to a comedy store type place in LA, and the current host was doing stand up, and everyone was making a massive fucking thing about it.
Wow!
It's a black dude, isn't it, hosting now? With the moustache.
Oh, yeah, I think I've seen him, yeah.
Because you often see clips on YouTube people saying stupid answers, don't you?
Yeah.
And that guy's got a really good face for turning around at the camera and going, huh?
Yeah. No, I know what you mean, yeah.
Tim Allen style.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Matt, we're kind of building up Damon Killian, who's the main baddie. He's the producer of Running Man, and he's the presenter, so he's kind of more culpable than just a presenter. That's what we're supposed to believe. And he's an arsehole. He makes a man that mops the floor get killed or fired, doesn't he? Fires
removed. Yes.
Yeah, removed. And we also we're cutting kind of between Killian, in the build up of the show and all stuff like that. And also we're going back to the apartment where Amber is, who is Maria Conchita Alonso from Predator 2. Mm-hmm. She's very good in Predator 2. I quite liked her in this. I thought she was quite good. And there's that great...
recently.
Pardon?
You seen her recently?
No. What's happened to her?
She likes Botox.
Oh, sorry. You didn't need it, Maria. Should have avoided it.
Didn't need it. Always the same though, isn't it?
Sad.
It's always the same story.
Yeah. Damn you, America. I did quite like... See, what I think this film does well, but doesn't do enough of, is that kind of... Starship Troopers, RoboCop, kind of the random shit that's on TV.
Yeah.
So, with this bit, you get Jesse Ventura playing Captain Freedom with this terrible workout video.
That's the best bit of the film.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant.
Felt like I was being sold something plot-wise, though.
Ah, interesting. Oh, it's funny you should say that, Chris, because I feel that there might be. Feel there was.
I'm going to see more of this guy.
Yeah, I think there's missing Captain Freedom scenes. Didn't you get that feeling, Sam?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
like he's not in it enough, is he?
No, like there's a showdown missing. Yeah,
yeah.
That's what it felt like. It was running up to that. They like decide that he needs more of the movie.
Yeah,
this guy.
Yeah, see, I thought that. I agree with you there, Chris. I think there was some scenes cut. Maybe it's not mentioned, but it feels like Captain Freedom had a bigger role, but then it was edited out. But anyway, but I like all this like kind of world building of just like this terrible television. That's quite fun.
Yeah.
And just as they're basically making an announcement that the Bakersfield massacre, the man that perpetrated the Bakersfield massacre, Ben Richards, is escaped, he turns up, looming over her. She grabs her mouth, ties her to some equipment, gym equipment, and he's a bit of a bastard, really, isn't he?
It's that like classic Arnie sort of. Borderline rapist, borderline sexual abuse sort of character.
See, it is, but I think of all the films he does this in, and it's a lot of them, I felt this one was more acceptable because of the world that they're in. It's not a very nice world they live in, is it?
Yeah.
I suppose.
So I thought it was a little bit more acceptable that he would be such a bastard in this.
And it is the 80s.
And it is the 80s. I mean, he does reference snapping her neck more than once.
Yeah. And the way he holds her, like, round the neck's a bit sort of...
in the next scene, in the next bit, it's not great. But
problematic.
Before that, though...
shit, really, doesn't he?
Yeah. Before that, though, we had a bit I wanted to quiz Sam on. When about her Amber synthesizer setup. What did you think of her synthesizer setup?
I suspect that is the synthesizer that Harold Faltermeyer is using on the soundtrack. It looks like that kind of.
They just wheeled it in for her.
Yeah,
put it there.
Maybe just noodling around in the background.
Yeah,
quite a nice little setup she got going on.
Yeah, it's a good synthesizer setup.
Yeah.
She's a musician that works for the network. I quite like the little theme, the Running Man theme, the little piano bit. Yeah. It's a good little theme, isn't it? And they keep kind of playing it like do 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 do.
The problem is though, you get into obviously Harold Faltermeyer, most famous for Axel F, and like the rest of the soundtrack is kind of just Axel F without the do 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 do, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it is.
They run into the limitations quite quickly, and it makes you realise why there's not many more soundtracks by him, because they're like, he's just done Beverly Hills Cop again.
Yeah, that's really true. Yeah, but Arnie is kind of wants her to help him, and it's revealed here that she's kind of bought black market music, band music, and black market clothes and stuff, and she's like, oh, everyone does it. So we're kind of dealing in a world of kind of greys, aren't we, really, where people are kind of like, again, like 1984, where it's like there are rules, but people are breaking them, but it's kind of acceptable. And also, back and forth with this, we're back in the TV station where we're finding out that there's like ratings have dropped, people aren't watching The Running Man anymore, and Killian sees a slow-mo footage of Arnie running conveniently away from the prison camp, and he's like, wow, look at that man run, he should be in the Running Man.
Or something like that.
He picks up the phone and he goes,
get me
the Justice Department Entertainment Division.
Get me that man. Yeah.
And then doesn't he go then, no, get me the office of the president, doesn't he? Escalates it even further.
Escalates it, yeah.
He
escalates it to get that. He needs Arnie. And then we're in part 5, a failed escape.
I like that the equivalent of Les Dennis can escalate it to the president.
Yeah.
He can. Maybe Les Dennis could, we just didn't know. The height of his fame.
We don't really see how his escalation works out, do we? Because it's only because Arnie's like hanging around very close to him.
Yeah.
You know, at the airport with an employee.
Yeah.
They're very lucky, really, that he kind of handed himself in a bit, didn't he, really?
Yeah, it's more luck. Yeah, and this is this failed escape attempt where we see Arnie and Amber at the airport. And that's where he says...
One of the airport destinations is Mandelaberg.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird I've read there's a lot of weird background stuff. Like there's a point where there are the credits to Running Man, and it's all just really random, like gobbledygook. Well, it's not gobbledygook, but it's kind of things like...
Oh, I saw that, yeah. The music was by Do Re Mi, and editing was by, like, Who Cares, something like that.
Yeah.
It was really
it's kind of like they didn't think people could see it, but they could.
Yeah.
So it didn't really work, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is when he says his line, remember I can break your neck like a chicken's, which is... Because they have quite a lot of like that love-hate kind of back and forth, don't they?
It's classic, 80s, like Chris says. He's a shit. A lot of it about... She loves him. They end up happy.
Yeah. Love. What a love story.
Love conquers all, even a shit.
Yeah, even a shit, like Arnie. But anyway, it goes horribly wrong because she grasses him up, doesn't she? And he has to run again. But it's a pretty bad escape attempt, isn't it?
This is like Charlize Theron in the end of Prometheus. Just run off the thing, go over the fence. He runs straight down the length of the runway.
Yeah, and he's on such a wide space that not only a bike, but a car can chase him. That's how big the area is.
Yeah, run somewhere where they can't just catch up to you.
And in fact, they pull level to him and like kind of ride alongside him for a little while so they can aim the net better. Because it's like so easy at this point. Yeah.
If he just stops running, they'll go flying past him, won't they?
No, it's pretty terrible. And Arnie ends up confronting Killian, and this is where Killian says, "Hi, cutie pie," which I never remembered this. I just remember Arnie saying, "Hello, cutie pie," at the end. But you don't remember he says it at the beginning. But anyway, Arnie, he kind of offers Arnie to be in Running Man, but Arnie says no, so he just forces him.
Fuck you!
Yeah, so he forces him to be in Running Man by saying if he isn't, then his friends will be in it instead. So, Arnie's a good guy, so he does it. And there's that weird medical procedure, which we don't really know what that medical procedure is.
Yeah.
Do we? We just see it. It just looks horrible.
Yeah, I was just going to say earlier on, I think that's the clue that there was a different ending with that. I think that, and you know the fight, that a simulated fight he has with Captain America. I was
Captain
wondering,
Freedom, yeah.
Sorry, Captain Freedom. I wonder if that wasn't, if they changed the end of the film and that wasn't actually a simulated fight and that was a real fight at some point, something different,
Yeah.
It's very strange.
It does feel like when you've had that beginning where they had something that blew your head off, if you passed a certain thing.
Yeah.
If you're then doing a medical procedure, it's a bit like Escape from New York. Are they implanting something into his body to control him? Or, is it supposed to be a camera so they can see through his eyes? Or... Yeah. They're not explaining what they're doing here. It's a bit weird. It's a bit of a weird throwaway scene.
In the book, there's none of that control thing. He's like let loose in the world, and they say you have to send back 2 video messages a day to broadcast. And if you don't do that, they're just going to keep hunting you forever. So you could just say no and just keep doing it, but no one's ever survived something. But yeah, I prefer the idea of an exploding head.
Yeah. And Amber is back at home thinking it's all through, but then she sees a TV report about the airport and they've kind of lied. They've said that Arnie shot 2 people in the face, which means that they've just shot 2 people in the face for no real reason, haven't they? Because those people didn't do anything wrong or see anything they shouldn't have.
That's the world we're living in, Alex. Fake news.
2019, that's what 2019 is all about. But then we cut to the hilarious climbing for dollars, which is a man on a rope with dogs underneath him, and then gas gets sprayed in his face. That was a great TV show. I don't know why they don't make that TV show.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's great.
It's kind of predictable what happens, I suppose, every week, isn't it?
Yeah, that they spray the gas and then you
guy gets eaten by dogs. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
You've seen it once, you've seen every episode.
Yeah, that's probably true. We're up to part 6, which is the Running Man itself. Should we take a brief commercial break and do a Arnie quiz?
Let's do it.
We'll
be right back.
Okay, we'll be right back after this Arnie quiz.
Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for suffering? If the answer is yes, then you're ready for Captain Freedom's workout.
Yes, it's America's own Captain Freedom.
That's the ticket. No pain, no gain.
Here we go. It's question. Right, nearest gets it. First question goes, we'll start with Chris to give an answer. How old was Arnie when he won the Mr. Universe title?
20.
Sam?
17.
He was 20. Bang on. Chris gets it. Very
I didn't
young.
say it. I'm a massive bodybuilder.
Into the culture. Okay, well, you'll know the rest of these then. We'll go with Sam for this one, though. After this, he went on to win Mr. Olympia, but then how many times did he win Mr. Olympia?
I'm going to say twice.
Twice. Chris?
5.
7 times he won
Bloody
Mr.
hell.
Olympia. Yeah. So yeah, Chris wasn't lying. He just loves those steroids.
Yeah. You just missed a couple of years. That was
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. After the 1975 Mr. Olympia contest, Schwarzenegger announced his retirement from professional bodybuilding. But in 1980, because it's Arnie, he was in such good shape after Conan, he said he was going to do it again one more time. And he ended up winning. But how many weeks did he have to prepare to get to go for the comp? This is for Chris. How many weeks did he have to prepare? And then he did win it, remember?
3.
3 weeks. Sam?
I'm going to say 0 weeks.
No weeks. Okay, it was 7 weeks.
Oh.
It's still impressive though that in 7 weeks he managed to come back from not doing it to win it. Okay, we're off his bodybuilding. We're into his films. Sam, how many words does Arnie speak in The Terminator?
Oh, not many. Like individual words or individual.
Yeah, we're in
utterances?
words, not sentences.
12.
12 words.
It's way more than that, I think.
20.
20. The answer's 58. So Chris gets
Yeah,
that.
12 isn't very much.
Yeah,
so.
it was.
No,
Yeah,
12 isn't any at all.
yeah. When I said it, I thought this is a bit
Well, the
stupid.
question, how many words does Arnie speak in The Terminator, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 words. So
Yeah,
you couldn't even say that sentence twice. Some people say it's 74, but from the 17 sentences, one is the overdubbed voice of a cop, and the other is Sarah Connor's mother's voice when he's trying to trick her. So they're probably not counted. Okay, Chris, in comparison, Arnie spoke 700 words in Terminator 2, but breaking down his paycheck for the movie, how much did the iconic actor get paid per word?
Oof.
In dollars, sorry.
10 grand.
10 grand a word. Sam,
How many words is it? 800.
700 words.
That's a lot.
120 grand.
It was 21,429. So 21,000.
Wow.
So Chris is almost spot on.
Yeah.
Oh, I said 10 grand.
He said 10, but he was
We're
near.
still a lot closer than me.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for the words.
Yeah.
So, moving on to Terminator 3, Schwarzenegger was paid $29.25 million to reprise his role of the Terminator in T3. His contract stipulated that how much of the budget should be set aside for private jets, a fully equipped gym, deluxe hotel suites, limousines, bodyguards for his personal benefit at all times during the production. So he was paid that, but how much of the budget of T3 did he want for all that shit, basically? Sam?
Percent of it.
No, a number.
30 million.
30 million on that.
That's
Yep.
too much. That was more than his pay.
You're all over the place. Yeah. Chris?
Sorry, what did Sam say?
30 million.
30 million, more than he
More
was
than his
paid.
actual pay.
No. 1 million.
It is 1.5 million, yes. Yes. Okay. For starring in the 1988 comedy film Twins, which we're now going to do on the science fiction rating system, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito both agreed to take a percentage of the film's box office take instead of their salaries. This resulted in them receiving the biggest paychecks of their movie careers, but what percent did they take? Chris?
I knew all about this. I think it was a third, and a third.
Ooh.
Like the studio and then them two a third each.
Bloody hell.
So, what does that mean?
33%.
33?
Yeah.
Okay.
0.3 recurring.
Okay. Sam?
I think 12%.
It was 20%. Who's nearer?
Bloody hell. I'm nearer.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20%.
20%? No, God, they must have got paid a fortune then. What
Yeah.
would it
Yeah,
made?
that's the most they've made out of anything they've ever done.
Clever guys. Clever guys for that one.
It made 216 million in America alone.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's
But it
that?
was a risk.
40
It was
million
a
each?
risk, wasn't it? I mean, that was a risk. They didn't
Well, that's
really
the thing,
know it
but they
was
couldn't
gonna-
have got it made if them two weren't like attached.
Did they get 20% each?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck me. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's probably why
I bet that deal was never made again, was it, though?
Yeah.
With anyone.
Well,
They were
it was just one of them things like to get it like off the ground. They just wrote it down on like a post-it. Him and the director, like that was the deal.
That's crazy.
There you go. Clever guy. Him and Danny, I guess.
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger almost died on the set of True Lies when a horse he was riding during one of the film's most memorable action sequences got spooked by a camera boom and started rearing up near the edge of a very steep drop. I think we all remember the scene. Arnie managed to slip off the horse in time and a stuntman pulled him to safety. How big did Arnie estimate the drop was in feet? So this isn't a fact. This is what Arnie says the drop was.
All right.
50 feet.
50 feet, right, Sam?
100 feet.
It was 90 feet, so yeah, I think that Sam gets that, yeah. I mean, there's no one really knows. There's nothing written with the actual number, but that's what Arnie says, it was 90 feet. Anyway.
Can I ask a follow-up question to your previous quiz question?
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll have the fact for me. You know, Junior, how much do they get paid for that?
Oh, I don't know. I don't have the fact,
Because surely you just say, give me 20% again or I'm not doing it. I've got 40 million now, I don't need your money.
They'd be savvy, though. They'd just be like, well, you know, we're not going to do that
say,
again.
all right, get lost then. I don't need you.
Maybe. Who knows? In 1992, Arnie bought the first civilian Hummer. In 2003, he modified it to run on hydrogen, trying to jumpstart the building of hydrogen refueling plants. How much did it cost him to convert this Hummer into a hydrogen-running Hummer?
$600,000.
600,000 from Sam. Okay. Chris?
I would say about 200,000.
It's 21,000.
600,000 doesn't sound like a good deal.
No.
I assumed it wasn't a good deal, though. That's why there's a question.
No. Well, it failed because it didn't work and he didn't get any hydrogen. It didn't work at all, did it? So, also in 1992, Arnie, along with his wife Marie Shriver, opened a restaurant in Santa Monica named Schatzi on Main. Schatzi in German means darling. How many years later did he sell that restaurant? Opened in 92. Sam.
2.
Oh, Chris is straight in with 2. How many years, Sam?
1.
6 years later. So this didn't run very long, and also it was before they got divorced. They sold the.
Didn't he? Planet Hollywood's him, isn't it? And
yes, Planet Hollywood's him. Yeah.
Stallone and Willis,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think have they all got out of that now though?
Yeah, I think they
assume
all
so, yeah.
dropped out of it quite. Yeah, no, they didn't. They weren't in it for very long, I don't think. Yeah, I didn't write that fact down. Arnold Schwarzenegger has served 2 terms as the 38th governor of California from 2003 to 2011. When he became governor, he did not accept the California governor's salary because of his already substantial wealth from his acting career. What was the salary that he refused? Sam? Per year. Per year.
150,000.
Per year, okay?
Yeah.
Yep. Chris?
Yeah, I'd say 151,000.
Oh, it's
That's a real dick move, that is.
It's 175, so yes, that was a dick move.
Yeah, it's a dick move, but
Yeah.
I'm a winner.
You are a winner. Okay, last question. There is no chance for Sam to win, but it's for pride now, Sam.
Yeah, okay.
In 2017, it was estimated Arnie had how many on-screen kills total together from his feature films in 2017?
3,000.
3,000.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, Chris?
Because he might have gone like mad in one scene with like
There might be one where he destroys a planet, I guess.
dropped a bomb or something on people,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
He killed all those people at the food riot, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. Chris?
500.
It's 369 on-screen kills. So there you go. It's quite a lot. He must have
That's
gone
not
up
as
a
many
bit.
as you think, is it, though?
No, it was
As
the
many as you
top,
think,
though.
clearly.
Yeah.
Has someone done like a YouTube supercut of all those deaths?
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be good.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
So there's one of those of all Rambo's kills, isn't there? Which is quite cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought Rambo would have killed more, but I guess that's...
It's a lot, though. I think actually it's just Rambo's kills in, you know, the combat one. Was it just called Rambo? What was the one? The one that came out when we were in Canada?
That's great, that film.
I think he passes a 300 in that film alone.
Yeah, with that stupid gun thing, yeah.
Yeah.
We're back. We're back at the Running Man.
And we're back.
It's part 6, and we get the big opening montage of the Running Man show. So it's really well. I think I liked this. I think this is actually quite well directed, this piece, because what you get is you get the control room, you get the audiences, but they're multiple audiences. We have the kind of shantytown audience who are all like betting and clamouring at the big telly. You've got the kind of uptown Manhattan bar type audience, don't you?
It's like the Truman Show.
Yeah. And you're kind of setting up all these different places which they jump about during the whole thing.
The difference is, though, in Truman Show, each of those places develops as its own little story, whereas this, they just go back to the same thing over and over again and nothing really happens. Yeah. So I agree with you. This first time, impactful and good, but I think they really overplay the going back and showing the betting board, showing the room, and nothing really develops in any of those areas.
I disagree, really, because I think there's a point to go back and show you the same thing, because I think if they didn't show you that all people want is people to be killed, then you'd forget a bit that you're in that world. The audience aren't on his side.
You know, like when they are on his side, all of a sudden, that should happen more gradually, something like that, or something should go on, something should change, like the audience. Yeah. Like, remember in Truman Show where that bar, like people come into the bar and going out of the bar and things like that.
Yeah, I guess.
And something should just change or be more interesting, or there's no like even dialogue is there really.
Yeah, it's like how in Gladiator he like turns the crowd, doesn't he? That's done. Like, I can't remember how he does it. Yeah,
I didn't mind the kind of I don't know. The dance routine is absolutely terrible. It was choreographed by Paula Abdul though, so it's very 80s.
Again, which one? There's like 3 of those, isn't there?
Yeah, the beginning. I think it's that terrible beginning one.
Yeah.
And then we also have this really weird scene where he's led through the corridors and he passes Amber. And then that woman just does a really weird speech about how he could have like killed you and raped you, or just raped you or killed you, or like. But she's kind of saying it in this kind of weird like way.
It's because they're trying to. Because that's obviously like her thinking, oh, perhaps he's a good guy, isn't it? That's when she gets the point across. But they obviously thought it's just too subtle. So she goes, because she says like he could have raped and killed you, or he could have killed and then raped you. They're really trying to get, like, in case you've not got what they're trying to say, he didn't do that, so he's a good guy.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
Yeah, it's kind of odd, isn't it? And then we've got you've kind of got you're basically from this point on, you're just in the program, and I think that's where kind of the film. I liked all these kind of the stuff in a studio. His weird catchphrase that "Who loves you and who do you love?" I quite like all that. And he's kind of playing to the crowd and all that, and there's that weird old woman in the audience that is like his long running fan, who's based on a real person. Did you know that?
Oh right, okay.
She's based on the person she's called Mrs. Miller in it, and it's a person called Mrs. Miller, whose entire claim to fame was coming almost every day to tapings of the Merv Griffin show. And she actually turned it into she actually managed to get an album deal out of that. She made an album of her singing songs off the back of being the person that was on the
Were the songs about Merv Griffin?
I don't know. It's called Mrs. Miller Sings. They said you only ever hear it on like really terrible like kind of camp or like kitschy radio shows or something. Yeah, have to look it up.
Mrs. Miller Sings, yeah. Do you want another good inside TV fact?
Oh, go for it.
Do you notice in Killian's room, he's got the hate boat on the wall? And that's because the guy who plays Killian, what his name is, he was in the Love Boat. He starred in the Love Boat. That's a good little
alternative universe.
That's good, yeah.
Mirror universe.
Perhaps the most shocking thing in the entire film happens in the next scene for me, which is that Arnie comes out in his jumpsuit and they rip it off and he's wearing his kind of trademark Running Man outfit. Yeah. And on the shoulder, very clearly, very real, is the Adidas logo.
Yeah.
Now, who did that deal?
Yeah.
Who went to Adidas and said, we're making this film about a game show where we kill people. Do you want to be the sponsor of the show?
There's also Castrol oil signs.
Yeah, there's a few.
Which is weird. Because like
there's a
Cadre
few,
Cola,
isn't there?
you can see why they've gone for a fake cola company. But who agreed to sign up for it?
Because it's not like he is the hero, but you're not saying, oh, this is
you're
Arnie's favourite
sponsoring
brand.
a death sport. That's what you're sponsoring. Yeah.
It's kind of insane marketing. But anyway.
Because the Castrol one's like something like Castrol welcomed you to Running Man, isn't it, or something? It's not like, it welcomes you to this like death.
Yeah. No, it's
trail.
insane. I don't know who did that and how it worked and whether it affected the brand, but yeah. There you go.
I've got a Mrs. Miller update for you.
Okay. Go for it.
She didn't make one album, she made 6 albums.
Oh my god. 6 albums.
Confusingly, her first album's called Mrs. Miller's Greatest Hits. Then you've got Will Success Spoil Mrs. Miller? With a question mark and exclamation mark after it. Then The Country Soul of Mrs. Miller.
Yeah.
Then Mrs. Miller Does a Thing. Then and then Wild, Cool and Swinging, and then The Turned On World of Mrs. Miller.
Oh my god. She's
Dear.
dead
Brilliant.
now.
She's dead. She died in 1997 at the age of 89.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of albums.
Who's getting all that
All those
money
royalties.
from... Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it could be her daughter who was referenced in the Herman's Hermit song, Mrs. Brown, You've Got a Lovely Daughter. That's what the song is.
Oh god.
This is brilliant. You've opened a real...
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad I've
stuff here.
given you that. Yeah, it's my gift to you. We find out that Damon's tricked Ben is because his friends are going to be sent into the Whitman. No, not Whitman, and it's the other two, isn't it? That's the people that won.
Yeah.
What are they called? Because
Weiss.
Weiss and Lachlan. And Weiss is played by Marvin McIntyre, who plays Duke in Short Circuit, so we'll be seeing him soon.
Lovely.
And Laughlin was Yaphet Kotto, who's in Alien.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so... but yeah, they
Who
get
also is like not done any favours by that jumpsuit they make him wear. It doesn't really suit his
he
body
looks terrible,
at all,
doesn't
does
he?
it? Yeah.
He looks miserable in it as well.
He does.
But like, yeah, he does look miserable. But also, like, it's kind of weird, isn't it? Because the threat to Arnie is like, oh, I'm going to send your mates in. But like, that guy's pretty capable. He doesn't look like he couldn't handle himself. Like, the little skinny nerdy one's not going to win. But the other, like, he's fine, isn't he? So, you know.
Also, really, the place doesn't seem that threatening to me.
The whole world.
No, sounds like just a bunch of goons, really.
Yeah, it's really the stalkers that are going to cause the trouble.
This is the bit where I realise I've not seen this since I was small, because in my memory of Running Man, this bit is like much more expansive and it's bright and there's all sorts going on. There's hundreds of people running around.
Okay.
But really, it's just a load of like low roof rooms, isn't it? With the same fight over and over
It's
again.
like Laser Quest.
Yeah, I said that. That's exactly what I said. We were watching it. Yeah, it was like reading Laser Quest. Yeah.
It is a bit like Laser Quest. I mean, it's supposed to be the game zones of 400 square blocks.
Yeah.
Left over from the big quake of 1997.
Did either of you have that false memory there of like a bigger...
I thought the game show set was more impressive than it was.
Yeah.
I remembered it being pretty dark and dingy, to be honest. Maybe I saw it a bit later.
Yeah.
I remembered it being dark and dingy. And I really, really remembered the whole... the twist about the Whitman, Price and Haddad.
Yeah,
I really remembered that. That was really like in my head, you know, that bit. Once I saw the ice skating bit, I remembered the ice skating bit quite clearly.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, he's strapped in. They're all strapped in. They get sent in these crazy toboggan things, which and this is where you get the "I'll be back" line from Arnie,
which is so pointless, isn't it?
It is just thrown in, isn't it? Because he did say it first in Terminator, and it must have been a thing by then.
It's strange, isn't it, though?
But it's a good comeback when he says only in reruns. Come on.
I don't know if he'd not said it before. It's just a bit odd. Like it's a sign. It's like it's a different sort of film all of a sudden. You know.
Well, like yeah. I mean, I like this film, but I found it. The one-liners were a bit annoying. Even I found them a bit like they take you out of it too much.
Yeah.
And I guess you're right. That's the beginning of it happening. And they go through those tubes and pipes, which is weird because they show that effect so many times. Them going down the tube.
Yeah.
But they obviously have filmed them because they are in them. So it's not just repeated footage. Some of it is, but some of it isn't.
They're obviously just so proud of that look in that set. Because they show the entire tube ride every time, don't they? Like,
they
whole
show
length of it.
all three of them go down. Then when Amber
then
gets sent
killing
in,
at the end.
Amber when she
Amber,
gets sent in, so it's 5 times you see that. Yeah, it's a bit excessive.
It does look cool, doesn't it? But you don't see it that many times, do you? Really?
Yeah, no, you don't need to see it like that. You don't need to see it like that. And then kind of like you have the kind of it is quite a good like the way they do it, isn't it? That they go back to the audience and someone in the audience has to pick a stalker. I guess that's the game. And if your stalker, you pick someone, and if your stalker, the more pain your stalker inflicts, then you get prizes.
More prizes
that seems to be the thing, yeah. And they pick out Sub-Zero, played by, he's called Professor Sub-Zero in this, and he is played by Professor Toro Tanaka.
Not a real professor.
Well, he's called.
I want to see his credentials.
Well,
that's his wrestling name, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, I couldn't find any credentials. But he's basically just like if you needed an Asian henchman, he was basically that.
Rent a mob.
Exactly for quite a long period of time. And it's kind of like you say. Really, it is a kind of copy, paste, repeat. Now this film, in that they are just in the zones, and then a stalker comes in, and they fight that stalker, and Arnie kind of gives a one-liner, and then they move on a little bit, isn't it? That is kind of like where we're at now, as far as the film's concerned.
Yeah, it's just really boring. Yeah.
Did you find? So you found it? I didn't find it boring.
Well, all the fights are kind of the same. Like they just run around him a bit, and then he knocks them out, and it just sort of. There's no real like peril or threat, and the supporting characters aren't introduced enough for you to actually like them at all.
No.
It's just. I don't know. I mean, it sums it up that I was watching a Colgate advert with that professor in it and Pat Morita at this point that I found on YouTube. They made an advert for Colgate together, which is really good.
Strength can move mountains, but strength can't brush away tartar.
You were listening to all the albums of that old woman.
Yeah. If I'd known, I'd have had them on. Yeah. But it just really sort of... They just ran out of steam really quickly for me.
You think so? Okay.
What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I agree completely. It's just like a yawn fest.
Well, that's sad.
You
made me sad. I just enjoyed
really
it.
Sad, then.
I just enjoyed it. I mean, I think it's ridiculous, and it all looks very tacky and 80s and terrible. But I still just enjoyed it. But I do like. I think we've discussed several times. I have a bit of a kind of soft spot for this kind of bad 80s action film, and I think probably it tips more into the terrible action than into the kind of sci-fi, doesn't it? Really, it's kind of an excuse for it's a science fiction excuse for an Arnie action film, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really.
But you've got Total Recall, which is actually a good film and a Arnie action film.
No. I mean, it's done better. I mean, really, moving through the film, Sub-Zero gets his head. He gets barbed wire around his neck and gets his head kind of ripped open. Pain in the neck. That's the gag there.
Yeah.
And then Buzzsaw and Dynamo turn up. Dynamo's pretty ridiculous as a character, isn't it?
Dynamo's absurd.
Yeah. It's like the Go Compare advert guy.
He's a bit like that, but with a load of circuit boards stuck on him.
Yeah.
And a weird, shitty car.
And a really terrible car. Yeah.
Like everyone else in the future is just driving normal cars, and he's in this weird, like, Matchbox car.
I could literally make his costume and his vehicle for about 50 quid.
Yeah. Buzzsaw gets chainsawed in the groin. That's pretty nasty, but you don't see that.
He had to split.
He had to split, yep. By this point, Amber's been discovered trying to get the original files of the Bakersfield massacre, so she gets sent into the zone.
They do have memory cards, though, which is interesting. Memory cards?
They're like mini discs, aren't they?
Yeah, they're quite modern.
It looked kind of futuristic, didn't it, that technology?
I think they're based on mini discs, because mini discs would have been invented by that point, I think.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. The Arnie's friend. So, which one's one of the Laughlin is horribly injured by Buzzsaw.
Yeah.
And then they find they've realised that the signal from the main signal for the whole of the network is hidden in the Running Man gang for some reason, and I don't really know why? I mean, it's kind of
no
weird,
sense.
isn't it? It doesn't make any sense, no. So they break into that, and the kind of
Even if you've got to put it there, like for reasons that don't make any sense, but if there's a reason, you just like make sure it was like protected, wouldn't you? Or
little
got some
bit.
staff around it.
well, or even a fence, maybe, or it's just. Well, don't worry, it's got a hexagonal decode system. There's a hexagonal decode system.
Oh, don't worry, I know this.
Yeah, it's not impossible. It's just going to take a little time.
Yeah.
It's not impossible, though. Hexagonal decode system. And yeah, you're right. That guy's main thing, which is finding codes, then trying to remember them. He fails at that, but at least he tells Amber to remember it.
Yeah.
And then he gets electrocuted horribly. So he's dead. So that's 2 down. Arnie yells, "Hey, Christmas tree."
Yeah.
Which is I didn't remember that was from this. But it's quite good how Dynamo chases him, goes up a tiny little slope, and then the car tips over. And he just like lies there going, "Cart, oh help!"
I like that. Yeah, great. Cut.
Yeah, and Arnie won't kill him. He's so pitiful that Arnie refuses to kill him because he's so awful. And this is kind of like you say, this is where the tide turns. And that kind of people start kind of thinking, oh, maybe this Ben Richards guy, maybe we should be following him.
Don't you think it's weird as well how like because now they bring like Jim Brown out of retirement or whatever his name. What's his name in the show?
Fireball.
Yeah.
Fireball. Yeah.
Which is the exact like arc that Captain Freedom goes through. So it's like they've sort of recast his role mid-film, isn't it? Something very strange going on.
It is something going on with Jesse Ventura. Yeah, there's obviously some issue. I mean, he's quite difficult.
I just love how everyone they call has got like a different like element.
Yeah,
yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
Ice.
Yeah, yeah. There is
he looks like he's just an office manager now. That Fireball, but he's still got the ridiculous hair. He's like ready at the drop of a hat to go and get back to killing people on his jetpack.
Yeah, and but also how does that work? So he jetpacks up to get to the game zone, but they go down in a toboggan. So where the fuck is this game zone? Because how can you get to it by going through one tunnel, but also by going up into the air?
Oh, Alex, it's show business.
You need to show that to flat earthers. It would blow their mind.
Running Man is the evidence they've needed all along.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well.
I've got a feeling like it actually isn't like a flamethrower they use on the set because it's coloured in a very strange way. Do you know what I mean? It looks fake.
Yeah, it does look fake.
You're right, actually. It looks more controlled, doesn't it, than a real flamethrower would be. Yeah.
Well, they're kind of wandering around the factory at this point for some reason. And there's
all the sets of the factory. This looks like every single set in the film.
It is minimal on sets. I'll give you that. It should have had bigger scope, shouldn't it? It should have had more ideas. You could have had really lavish kind of game zones, couldn't you? Like
Smash TV.
Yeah, like Smash TV. That would have been good. And basically, so the tide turns when the audience member says. She picks Ben Richards to get the next kill, not Fireball, because that boy is one mean motherfucker. And it's kind of like, but even because this is an interesting idea, but they don't really run with this either, because the fact is they're just supporting him to kill people. They're not supporting him as a leader of the free world. They're just saying that guy's cool at killing people. We'd like more of that. It's not really. They haven't learned anything. They just think he's better.
All. No, yeah.
But we see that Whitman, Price, and Haddad never won. It was all a lie. Arnie pulls the the gas line out. Big explosion. Was it like you're fired? Again, I think it's a bad.
It's something like that.
But do you notice how a lot of them he does as he walks away? Yeah, he's walking out of the scene almost, doing the pun.
Also, about these guys being dead, if you're going to try and cover up this whole situation, why leave the bodies in the game show surrounded by video cameras that you're going to, just don't do that. Incinerate them. Yeah. Bury them anywhere else, literally anywhere else in the world would be better than where they died.
Yeah, it's true actually. And then we're at part 12, Captain Freedom. I just named them all after the people that were the
Good
stalkers. Idea. Yeah. But there's an
when did Gladiators come out?
Oh, after this.
Early 90s.
Gladiators.
Yeah, after this.
No, not Gladiator, the film. Gladiators, the TV show.
I think that's early 90s as well.
Yeah.
I think American Gladiators was around before that, wasn't it? I'm going to Google it. 1989.
Yeah.
Yeah, so so this is the bit where it is confusing. Jesse Ventura is called to go in, and he kind of storms in to see Killian, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not wearing." He's got a kind of silly costume on, and he's like, "I'm not wearing any of this shit. You know, I want to like Code of the Warrior. I'm just going to go in as myself and all that." And you think, "Oh, okay, this is cool. It's gone a bit like Predator now. Is it going to be like man versus man? Like it's going to be a proper fair fight?" And then it's kind of a bit odd, isn't it? Because Damon just like seems to say, "Oh, go leave" or something. And then
I don't understand what the because they do that fake fighting, don't they? But like what? Yeah, they don't really sort of say. Is he going to go in? Is he not going to go in? What is the?
There's something
weird.
Definitely missing here. Yeah. Interestingly, the guy who I haven't written down his name but he's the guy that's working in the control room. Did you recognise him? He's like that really tall.
Yeah, he's in loads of stuff, isn't he?
Yeah. He says at this point, third act problems. And it's almost like he's commenting.
Oh, does he?
It's almost like he's commenting on the film as well as
trolling the film.
He's trolling, yeah, exactly, yeah. But what they do, obviously, as we've been kind of hinting all along, what they do is they put together some fake footage. So they digitally face replace a stunt double who they kill, and they make it look like that Captain Freedom kills Amber and kills. Again,
like weirdly accurate because, like, you know, deep fakes are a thing now, aren't they?
Well, the film predicts digital face replacement. Do you both know what the first face replacement, what the first film to use face replacement is?
It's was it Superman Returns?
No,
Jurassic Park.
It is Jurassic Park, 1993. When the teen girl escapes from a dino through the roof, a body double face was replaced with a teen girl's face. So there you go. So that's quite 87 predicted it for 93. It's quite, well done.
Have you seen that deep fake stuff though? That's
no, I haven't. Is it
fucking terrifying? It is weird.
Is it really well? Is it good?
Some of it's good, some of it's shit.
Yeah, like if the face is looking straight at you, it works. It turns, it doesn't. It like loses it. But man, because apparently it's just people doing it on their it's like Russians, isn't it? Like doing it.
Yeah.
Where they do it, where it's like a younger version of themselves. Like I've seen a Leonardo DiCaprio one, where he's accepting his Oscar, but with his face as if he was in Titanic.
Oh. Yeah.
And it's really good because obviously he's still got the same mannerisms and stuff.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's a weird world. It's a weird world we live in 2019, as the Running Man decided. But yeah, Arnie teams back up with Fleetwood Mac, and he makes Mick Fleetwood makes a joke about Mr. Spock that doesn't land, but ironically, that joke does work because Mr. Spock is in Discovery at the moment. So like, there's no one who wouldn't know Mr. Spock was.
It's because in America you have to watch Discovery on CBS All Access, and no one's got that. No one's seen it.
That's how it works then. Okay, I thought so. Yeah. And anyway, so Arnie's learnt his lesson. He leads the rebels. There's a big, massive fight where they make it very clear that Arnie is defending the audience. They keep kind of being like, "No, get the audience out!" Like, kind of over the top a little bit. I thought I didn't really care about the audience. And Dynamo tries to rape Amber. Which is pretty horrible.
That's really weird, that scene.
Really, really weird and horrible. Yeah, with his giant white pants. So she electrocutes him with sprinklers. Arnie says, "Hello, cutie pie." And you think he's going to fight that big dude, but that big dude just goes, "Oh, I'm off for some steroids." And then Killian gets sent into the game. I mean, he does a big speech about how they've been controlling everyone for 50 years and they tell them what to do and all this, that and the other. And it doesn't really matter, though. Because he sends him into the game and he kills him, and that's kind of it really. They just watch them kiss, don't they? Weirdly, Amber and Ben Richards kiss, and everyone's watching, which is a bit odd. Everyone cheers, and then the TV just says, "Please stand by." So what we kind of implied that maybe
taking the system offline.
He smashed the system.
Yeah, they've smashed the system, or the rebels have taken over. Or
a better way of doing this ending is they live. They just show a couple like having sex.
Yeah,
at the end,
the weird alien robots or something. Yeah. So that's all Running Man. I get the feeling that we have a difference of opinion then. I mean, it's a dumb film, but I enjoyed it. It's not saying anything, is it? I mean,
no.
Did you just think it was boring and you didn't like it, you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
just poor in the most important respects. The script was very poor.
It is a bad script. Yeah, I can't say it was a good script because it isn't. It's a bad script.
Like literally from the first sentence.
Early indicators at a bad script. It's right there. Yeah. First sentence. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah.
Started poorly and went downhill.
Sam, do you think it just got worse, or was it worse from the start?
Well, for me, it was more that I was really looking forward to watching it, and I'd got good memories of it. And
I'd love to remake it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think there's a really the central idea is obviously very strong because the fact that we do all remember it and go, oh, the Running Man.
Yeah,
it's just not made very well. And yeah, like I was going to say, like Chris just said, even though you've got Hunger Games and stuff, you could still make this film again in a really convincing and nice way.
With all like the retro neon shit which is going on in everything at the moment, like you could do a wicked like Netflix version of this.
Yeah, so what? Do a kind of an 80s future where it does look a bit like this, but it's just a bigger budget, bigger scope, bigger world. Yeah.
Well, just well made.
Yeah, just better made.
And I think you need more like zones where sort of like a Warriors kind of thing or something where there's areas controlled by those like like the Buzzsaw or whatever.
Yeah.
They're leaders of like groups of villains who like live in different areas.
You could
you've got like
anything. You could you could have like a Tron sort of area. You could have like a Westworld type shit going on.
Like you'd have like Dynamo would be like he'd have like an arcade, wouldn't he? Full of like arcade people. It'd be all computed like 80s theme like that and things. It would. Yeah.
So you think it's more that it was a missed opportunity? You feel that they?
I think it's not a good film. I think it's a good idea, but I think everything else about it is just poor. It was and really boring. I thought like the second half. So yeah, I was very disappointed with it, to be honest.
Well.
But how you Alex? You still held up?
No, I don't think
you do like trash though, don't you?
I do like trash, Chris. You are right. I love trash, and I love Arnie. And no, it wasn't. I don't remember.
Was it as good as you remembered it?
I never thought this was never my favourite Arnie film. The guy Killian's performance was better than I remembered it. Like that element of it was better, but it was never my. Like it's never been my top. It's always been a lower tier Arnie film. But then, I think we've already worked out the problem here because when you were saying about Sixth Day and End of Days, and Eraser stuff like that, I still love them. But you're saying they're terrible. So like all the Arnie films are good to me. So they just go from being like really good to being like just good.
I'm with you on Eraser.
Yeah, but
Eraser's a great film.
So I kind of have no real. I guess I'm kind of a lot more. Biased or generous to Arnie, and I just enjoyed it. I just thought it was stupid. I enjoyed it. I agree. I think there's a lot more that could have been done with it. It's not a good film. No, I can't say it's a good film. I can't defend it. It's not. I don't think it's as badly directed as Arnie thought. It is badly scripted.
Yeah, that's the problem. I don't think the director's at fault at all. Like, what could you do other than what you've done with what you've got there in terms of the look of it?
No, it needed maybe to be made with more extravagant budget or more imaginative budget.
The problem is because
go on.
Sorry, Chris, go on.
It could have had flair just in design sense, though.
I think it's too much just dark industrial kind of wasteland looking zones.
I know that's probably cheap to do, but
it was too cheap. It looked. You're right. It does look cheap at times.
I think the problem as well is that the source material is so different and so something you couldn't do on that budget. The fact that like in the book he's hopping all over the world.
Yeah.
So it's a lot on Stephen D'Souza's shoulders.
Just basically set in like a paintballing.
Yeah, it does.
It's written like budget first, isn't it? They said like make this book on a budget of X million.
Yeah.
Well, it's.
But you're not telling me there couldn't be like a door and there's in like a forest. And they do
I agree. Well, as I say, like Warriors, which is not a science fiction film, but has a much more convincing menace to it.
Yeah,
just from like using the streets of New York. And I think if you set the Running Man in Warriors, it'd be a better film, just because it looks. And that's not really, those other than the fairground, it's all quite samey scenes, but there's just more character and life to it than in this.
But I think you're right. There's not. Unfortunately, the other characters are not very nuanced. They're not. You don't really care. Arnie's going to survive, so there isn't really any peril. Like Arnie's going to be fine. Amber's going to be fine. Those other two guys are kind of expendable anyway. It doesn't really matter. So I think
you just get that fatigue of like single location. It's like it's just really. Why wouldn't you mix it up a bit?
Also, if you think Escape from New York. was
true,
7 years
done a lot
before
better.
this. Again,
Yeah.
similar sort of setting and vibe to it,
Yeah.
but a lot more interesting in terms of
Yeah,
look
visually a
and
lot
stuff.
more better. A lot
Yeah.
interesting.
You're right. So basically, what we have discovered is nostalgia's terrible, and that when you like films, you shouldn't go back because
Well, I don't know. We haven't seen the other two yet, have we?
well, we haven't seen the other two yet. Maybe Short Circuit, Transformers will change this. But should we rank it then?
Let's
Should we
rank it.
Okay. Who wants to go first? Chris?
You can go first, Alex,
Oh, I'll go first.
because you're probably the highest rating. aren't you?
Yeah, it's not good. It isn't good. 70. Under Mad Max.
108.
Oh, 108?
Yeah.
Wow. Below the Abyss, above Superman 4.
The Abyss is actually, you know, it's
No. Oh, God, that's very low.
I was thinking sort of like 97, 98, around Jason X. Actually, I prefer Jason X to this. It was shit, but it was fun.
That's very low. I mean,
I prefer Equilibrium to this.
we know you do. you also seem to prefer Howard the Duck to this, so...
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
At least Howard the Duck is like the script.
It's got more ideas in it,
bad.
Howard the Duck, I guess. But
We've got a big spread in it. So 108 to 70, we've got a spread of
yeah, I mean,
38.
I'm fine. I can drop out because I feel that I am biased. I think you're probably you guys are right. It probably is not a better.
What
film
about
than-
like
I think it's better than 2012. I hated 2012
yeah,
and The
okay,
Day
well,
After Tomorrow.
Day After Tomorrow and things like that. But I also hate this.
Dreamscape. It's better than Dreamscape.
What about like one above Prometheus? Just because that's funny and that's kind of halfway between what we were saying, all of us.
Oh, come on. Prometheus is better than this.
It is, but yeah, no, it is.
I'd even watched The Martian before this.
Oh. How about one below? How about one below Prometheus? Then it's better than
below
Night of the
Martian.
Lepers. Not the Mile. It's just, I hate the Martian.
I think I'd watch this before The Martian, to be honest. Oh yeah, I can't get
Yeah,
it going.
Martian makes me angry. This didn't
I
make
watched
me
The
angry.
Martian the other night.
Oh,
God.
God. I mean,
So
I
what?
don't. Yeah, I
So
don't care
96?
enough. I like this, but I don't care enough about it to fight for it. So
Should we say 96?
96 then.
No one's happy then, aren't they?
Yeah, no, yeah, we'll all be unhappy. Like, yeah.
Cool.
So
Well,
there
I
you
hope
go.
this nostalgia season gets a bit more.
I enjoyed watching The Running Man.
You know, I'm glad I saw it again.
yeah.
It's been a while.
I
It was
can't
good
believe
to...
you like had that much to say about it, to be honest.
I had a lot to say. Yeah, I could have said more.
Yeah, we've gone quite a while, haven't we?
Yeah.
It really was like just wheeling another bad guy.
Yeah, it was.
That's my love of Arnie. That gives me, it inspires me.
Thing is, we need like a unique selling point, and we've got the most comprehensive breakdown of Running Man probably in the whole internet. There,
Hell
so-
yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I guess we should go to the past to see what's in the future next week.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
Hello from the past. Last week we watched The Running Man. This week we're going back to my childhood. And there's one film that I watched constantly as a child. All the time. Like literally all the time. I know the script, or knew the script front to back. And I watched it probably last in my early 20s all the way through. When the DVD release came out. I haven't watched it for a long time, but it gets re-released all the time because a lot of people have a lot of strong feelings about it. Chris isn't going to like it because it's animation. But so, do either of you remember the song "The Touch"?
Yes. Oh, God, I hope you'd pick this.
So this is
Great.
Transformers the movie from 1986.
Yes.
Which is my absolute... Like, I used to watch this film endlessly.
How come I never heard of this
I don't know.
when you were young?
I don't know.
How come you
It was
never
big.
mentioned
Well, because we
really big.
weren't
You watched
at
it
school,
so
were we?
what? So much.
We were in the same school,
Sorry?
were we? When I was young. We were in different schools.
Oh, was it that young?
Yeah. This is like...
We're only talking primary school, though.
Yeah. I mean, I must have talked about
And
it in
then you
high
never
school.
referred to it once in
No, I
secondary
must have
school.
done. Because I was absolutely... I'm sure you've watched it with me when I got the DVD.
We were into Star Trek, Star Wars by that point,
Yeah.
I think.
Anyway, yeah, I
Brilliant.
endlessly watched it. So this film, Transformers the movie, for those who don't know, is basically it's the Japanese creators of Transformers, Hasbro, saying everyone's bought our toys, we need new toys. So it's really brutal, and they basically just kill off all the old toys. So it's a very strangely bleak film.
Yeah.
That's how I remember it anyway, with some fucking brilliant songs in it.
Yeah.
Did you buy the toys? Have the toys bought for you?
Yeah, I was mad about the toys, yeah.
So it works then?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't actually, to be fair, I haven't got many of the new breed ones. I have got Rodimus Prime. He's on my desk right now. And, yeah. But it was so exciting. There's a shot in this film where Optimus Prime jumps over Megatron shooting, and that is the epitome of cool for me. So this means a lot to me. I'm really looking forward to it. So Chris, have you never seen this film?
No.
And Alex, when's the last time you saw this film?
Oh, a really long time ago. But I remember we discussed maybe doing this when we did Transformers, when the Transformers film came out.
Yeah, but we're shut down.
And
I might sneak it through this time.
Yeah, hasn't it? Is it just recently been put back out again on like a Blu-ray or?
It comes out all the time. The 4K is out now. Yeah,
Right,
and that came out recently. But it's constantly in cinemas and stuff like that. Also, do you know Leonard Nimoy's in this, Chris?
Oh.
No.
Yeah, he plays Galvatron, which is the newly brought back Megatron. We'll get into that next week. Let's watch a trailer for Transformers.
Brilliant.
Yeah, let's.
What a song.
Hold on tight. The most incredible rock and roll adventure ever is here.
Feed him to the shark guns.
Starring Judd Nelson as Hot Rod, Leonard Nimoy as
Galvatron.
and Orson Welles.
I can't wait.
Right.
Also, that's Orson Welles' last film. This is how crazy is that?
Yeah, that is
Last film. Eric Idle's in it as well. He's really annoying in it. It's all star. It's really funny as well because obviously these are characters from the cartoon series that was on TV, and like Hot Rod had a different actor and stuff like that, and they recast them for the film. So how pissed off must the people who did them in the TV series have been?
Yeah, that's a bit.
Because they carry on after this with them, in the TV series, went back to the other actors again as well. So,
have you heard that that recent Bumblebee? They're going to reboot the whole Transformers movies from that film.
Are they?
Yeah, I think
it's not that bad, is it, Bumblebee?
Yeah, it was so successful that they're just scrapping all of the Michael Bay ones, and now they're going to go forward again from this Bumblebee film.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it did so well, but I read it wasn't that bad as well. So it's interesting. Who knows?
Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
So next week, look forward to that. And Chris, there's some mumblings to that trailer that you weren't actually too opposed to this. So
The style of that animation, I do
enjoy,
not detest,
Good.
Right,
because it's kind of what we were watching when we were kids on Saturday mornings. Type, your Captain Planet,
Exactly.
Yeah.
you know,
Good.
Thundercats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
brilliant.
I think it's more like that classical, like Ghost in the Shell type. What would you call that?
Anime.
Anime.
This is kind of it's got a leg in both worlds, I would say.
That's what I struggle with,
Yeah.
because they try and make that like intellectual.
Right, yeah. No, this knows what it is. It's a big dumb film, robots in it.
Yeah.
A lot of death. Brilliant. So that'll be next week. Join us then. Bye-bye. It's Transformers.
It's Transformers. Wow. Well, let's see how we feel when we've watched Transformers. Whether the nostalgia will. I mean, I remember watching that as a child. I loved that. So we'll have to see. Anyway,
We'll get to that next week.
if you you can email us, tell us what you think about Running Man at sciencefictionratingsystem@gmail.com. The website sciencefictionratingsystem.com, and all of our Twitter, Instagram and Facebook is now Sci-Fi Rating, which makes a lot more sense than our old name.
We were
well
crossing
done.
swords with the Scottish Fire and Rescue Service.
Yeah, we were.
Also, send in your nostalgia picks because
yeah.
I think we've got enough that we can do a second trilogy later in the year of reader choices for nostalgia because we've got a couple coming already. So yeah, send them in. We can choose 3 and do a little
wallow in nostalgia with us. Yeah.
Other people's nostalgia.
Yeah, we'll wallow in other people's nostalgia, which is easier. And I think there'll be more Arnie on the way. What we've realised here is that we can do a lot more Arnie than we thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Good. Well, I think that's it. So thank you for joining me, Sam.
Thank you.
And thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.